Hello Libra, welcome to your general reading with me, Cindy. I'm saying general because I don't know if I'll get these out weekly as I used to. Got a lot going on. So Libra, I'm just very inspired today that I'm supposed to do, and I love the one I did for Virgo. I'm supposed to do a true love story. Is it a true, what am I calling this? Your love story? I want to call it more like a true love story. Like this is a really big love story for you. There's a lot of different decks in this, so I'll start and I'll show you. We're going to start off with the Return of Spirit Oracle deck. We're going to see what the main energy of this true love story is for you. And then we're going to look at what the feminine story is through the Goddess deck. We're going to look at what the masculine story is through the God and Titan deck. I'm going to use the Tarot de la Nuit to pull out more of the feminine story. And I'm going to use my SpellCaster's Tarot. Just so funny, and I shuffled this deck so much. I'm going to use this for the masculine story. I'm only laughing because in the Virgo reading, the masculine kept pulling out the Lover's card. And, oh yes, and, wait, we can't put that one on. Well, that was so funny. So, and then my Tarot of Sexual Magic, which I've had for a long time. I used to use it, I don't know a lot, but I used to use it. I haven't used it in a while on a channel. So I am going to pull, this is what I'm being called to do today. I'm also going to, I have a playlist in my iPhone for, I call it Love and Inspiration. So some of the songs are like, maybe you could say they were like love songs. A lot of them are more like inspirational songs. We're going to pick a song for the feminine story, and we're going to pick a song for the masculine story. See what comes up for them. Also, I am trying to just stick with feminine and masculine. Place yourself where you feel correct in the story. I may say she and he at any given time. It's just my vocabulary, and I'm just trying to channel and keep the story going. So I can't be politically correct 100% of the time, or there'll be no story. That's kind of how it works. So don't be offended if I don't say it quite right for you. Let's get started with the feminine's story song. Now, how do I get back to... Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to show... Oh, so I did this too with the Virgo. There is an extended... I forgot to promote myself. There's an extended at the end of this reading. The link is at the top of the description. In the extended, I continue to pull out cards for the feminine story, and I continue to pull out cards for the masculine story to see where it progresses, where it continues to go. There we go. Let's get started, Libra. All right. The song for the feminine in Libra's true love story. Oh, this is by Corey Hart. Can't Help Falling in Love. So this is really beautiful. Only fools. Okay, I gotta pause. I gotta stop because I can't play it all. I don't have the rights to the song. So it's who originally sang that? That was Elvis, wasn't it? I think so. This is Corey Hart's version to it. Can't Help Falling in Love. So, I kind of feel like the feminine doesn't have much choice in this. It's totally, the heart center is what takes them on this journey. Sorry, I was about to put that away, but the masculine needs a song. So you can go and look at the lyrics. That's for the feminine. Now the masculine's song in this true love story reading. Oh, that's too crazy. It's Cyndi Lauper again. Again, the masculine has the same song. Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper. Lying in my bed, I hear the clock tick and think of you. Caught up in search of confusion. There's nothing new. So, it kind of seems like the masculine is having some sleepless nights in this one. I'm gonna have all the same people coming to this reading. It's the same reading again. Come on. New energy. New energy. But the story is what the story is. Alright, we're going to start with Return of Spirit Oracle deck card to give us the overall energy of the theme of this reading for this true love story for Libra. This true love story for Libra. Okay, I'm being told to grab it. Commitment. Wow, Wow, innocence is at the bottom. It's a very sensual innocence. For some of you, this could be the first person you ever have sex with and you commit to this person. For others of you, I feel like there's things to be explored in here for you, regardless of how experienced you are in other things. You're going to be very innocent in other aspects of your life in this connection. And commitment is the card that's coming out. So this true love story is about a person that you'll be committed to. I feel like that this would be your commitment person. The person that you will possibly grow old with. Or someone that you will have. How many marriages does everybody go through now these days? So, you know, and one of these your person, commitment. So let's see what it says here. I'm sorry, I feel very sloppy. I have that thing in the top of my mouth. I've got braces on the bottom. I've got rubber bands. I got waxes all over the place in there so that I'm not rubbing my mouth raw. Apologizing again. I'm getting in trouble for apologizing too much. I'm Canadian. I can't help it. Okay, commitment. You are being asked to make some sort of commitment. It is both a promise and a responsibility. This could be in connection with a relationship, such as moving in together, deciding to get married, or having a child. The commitment card can also point to other types of commitment, such as starting a new business, planning a vacation with friends, signing up for classes, or taking on any type of long-term project. So this is a long-term, let's call this as a long-term project. Some people probably think, oh Lord, Cindy, tell me about it. It's been going on for years. This commitment is binding one, and you is a binding one, and you will not be able... I'm sorry, I just have to laugh because this commitment is binding one. And it brought to mind the Tarot of Sexual Magic card that came up for the Feminine and Virgo's reading, where the feminine was tying up the masculine to a bed. This commitment is a binding one, and you will not be able to get out of it easily should you change your mind later. This is signified by the bow-like symbol in the fractal image of the card. Whatever the case may be, this commitment does hold soul lessons and was planned before you came here. This does not mean it is either good or bad, but simply means that this is a fated event. You and the others involved in this situation are fulfilling your soul agreements with each other. Wow, this is like a really... So this story for you, the Spirit wants to talk about someone that you have a soul contract with for sure. This card can also be calling you to make a serious commitment to yourself, whether it is to lose weight, quit smoking, start a yoga class, or go for some healing sessions. You may also need to reassess any previous commitments you have made to discern whether you are still right, whether they are still right for you. This sounds like it could have some karmic elements to it for sure. Well, everything has a karmic element, but deep karmic lessons and healing those and moving beyond them. Because I do feel like this commitment to yourself, whether it is lose weight, quit smoking, start a yoga class, or go for some healing sessions, this connection is going to make you want to better yourself. Maybe it pushes you, maybe it pushes your buttons in ways that help you recognize what you really want to be, or what potential within yourself you really would like to release. It would also be wise to look closely at the commitments others have made to you and assess whether they are fulfilling their promise. It might be time to release them from their commitment. You have been wavering in your decision about a certain commitment. Lean towards the idea that this might actually be the right thing for you to do. Spirit usually replies to the things which are most important to us at the moment. This card can act as a validation that you are heading in the right direction. Wow, that's interesting. This could be like a commitment that you were severing, or a commitment that you were beginning, or one in the boat, one in the same. I just leave it to Libra to have a deeper intellectual love reading. Yeah, sexy Virgo is, well, they're very intellectual too. Okay, I'm moving the cards around because what I'm going to do, let's put those clarifiers over there. I'm going to now go into, we're going to start pulling out the feminine energy. Again, see where you sit in this, how you identify yourself. You could still be a heterosexual male, and maybe you're in a very feminine energy when you meet this person. You're in a very nurturing, giving energy, maybe doing a lot of healing, whatever. Like, that's why I'm trying not to put too much in this. See where it feels comfortable for you. The feminine energy. What is the feminine energy in this true love story for Libra? There's too many cards. You can't have so many, Libra. Let's look quick. You have transformation, salvation, flow, and wisdom. Oh, that's a lot. Let's do it, because there's a lot of cards to come out in this. I cannot do that many. But I told you, for those of you like, what was that? What was that? Now you know. We have one card for the feminine, one card for the feminine's energy, one card to depict the feminine's energy in this true love story for Libra. Knowledge. Oh, Libra. Knowledge. This is about learning, obviously. This is about learning. Learning about yourself, learning about others. Mastery is at the bottom for the feminine. So this is about learning. Wherever the feminine is in this story, the feminine is learning. They are mastering. I do want to say you cannot master knowledge and other things until you master the knowledge of yourself. Learning strongly about self in this connection. 2, possibly finding your innocence again. Finding your innocence. I do like that. Finding your innocence. The masculine. The masculine's energy in this true love story for Libra. The masculine's energy in this true love story for Libra. Ooh, guidance, Odin. Wow. This is interesting. The masculine is Odin, guidance. It's good, it looks good. Sorry, I'm heterosexual female, so I'm going to say it. It's like, you know, guys have been ogling over women for years. It's our turn to oogle over them. Ogle. So, and then the masculine has a cat, dedication. Kind of a crazy guy. I think the masculine is a little bit crazy underneath. You may not see that right away, or if this is you, if you're the masculine, you kind of know this about yourself. But this is the masculine, I do want to say, is probably older than the feminine in this connection. The masculine is older than the feminine, and I don't want to say like just by a couple of years. It feels fairly significant. So it could be anywhere from 5, 10, maybe even 15 years. It feels like a big difference here. And if it's not just, I really feel like there's an age difference. If it's minimal, I feel that the masculine has been through a lot or seen a lot of things. This is really, this is beautiful, because the feminine is showing up as knowledge, like wanting to learn, wanting to explore, wanting to understand. And the masculine is showing up as guidance. It's beautiful, almost like, take my hand and let's start this journey. Like, take my hand and let's learn this together. Take my hand. Because, you know, if you are the more mature, the more experienced person in any lesson that you are teaching, you are still going to learn something from those that you are teaching. I discovered that when I was teaching art classes to little kids. They taught me so much about art. Like, really, like, wow, yeah, so cool. So I don't want to say that there's a dominant factor here that, you know what's really beautiful is reclaiming the innocence. What I was trying to say is I don't want to, and I'm sorry, because as a channeler, I find so much goes through my head and I'm on to the next thing. And that's probably my Gemini rising too. But the masculine has more sort of a practical experience and may have gone through some difficult situations in life, or witnessed some anyways. And the feminine is a little more innocent in that. I don't want to say though that they haven't experienced anything. Like, nobody's life is easy, so I don't want to say that. That's not fair. There's definitely, if we want to just say, I think I'm really feeling strongly like there's an age difference. But the feminine brings innocence back into the masculine. I really feel that. The feminine brings innocence back. There's 2 forms of knowledge here. It's as if the masculine has knowledge in practical experience, the day-to-day, how to face day-to-day obstacles, day-to-day conflict in a practical way to get to success. And that can steal like some innocence out of a person, because that's not what really like the deeper soul, that's sort of the body and the mind functioning in a healthy and successful way through life. Whereas I feel that the feminine, I'm just really getting this innocence, brings like the joy and the playfulness back into the experience. And that's something that's very precious to be learned and to be received. So this is a really beautiful connection so far, what I'm seeing. And the master, see, and this is where it happens. Look at, because the masculine becomes a little bit silly, and then the feminine is mastering. This is really kind of neat. Like really feeding off of each other in very different and unique ways. Very different and unique. It's a little bit too, like with the feminine, she's all lit up here, like her crown chakra, and she has the owl. The feminine is very much, it doesn't quite feel like, I don't want to put like a high priestess energy in there, but there's definitely some sort of connection to spirit, which is probably what some of this innocence is that comes through here. And I feel it allows the masculine to express themselves in ways they were never able to before. So let's pull out 4 cards for the feminine in this story from the Tarot de la Nuit. 4 cards for the feminine. I'm going to show you what I mean. All right, 4 cards for the masculine. I cannot get away from this. The masculine with the lovers. I feel like the masculine energy is really coming into like wanting to express love, wanting to experience love, wanting to be allowing themselves to be guided by their soul, by their deeper soul. The masculine's energy in this story. The masculine story in this story. Jeez, man, it's crazy. It's not that one. Sorry. Talking to myself. It's okay. Okay, I'm hearing that these cards that have come out have come out so you understand your person, because they don't understand each other. There's a connection here. There's like a deep spiritual connection between these two people, but understanding each other is the challenge. So in this story, the story that you're receiving is to understand. If you're the masculine, is to understand the feminine. If you're the feminine, is to understand the masculine. It's going away. Excuse me. Okay. Sorry, I had to apologize. Okay. The feminine. The 7 of Wands. The Wheel, like the Wheel of Fortune. The Queen of Wands, and then the 3 of Wands. I'm going to show you the masculine, and I'm just going to talk out the story, okay? The masculine has Temperance, the Moon, the 5 of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. Okay, to understand the feminine here. The feminine has had to build some sort of defense mechanism here. The defense mechanism, it almost feels like defending oneself or defending one's energy, waiting for the cycle to change, waiting for things to get better, or waiting for something to come to some sort of conclusion. There's a defense mechanism here that the feminine is utilizing. And they're utilizing it to take them to a new beginning. They're protecting something within themselves. And maybe it is some of this innocence. They don't want that to get lost. So they are sort of defending themselves. So the feminine, if you're the masculine watching this, is they're literally, whatever this protective stance is to protect the innocent part of them. And not sure who they can trust. Maybe they, like I did say, I feel like the masculine's been through a lot. But I didn't want to take that away from the feminine either. They may not have been through the same things, or like just a lifetime. The lifetime seems shorter. I'm really feeling like the masculine is older than the feminine in this situation. So if people have lived longer, they may have lived through more things, but not necessarily. The feminine has been through something here, and there is perhaps a slippery slope of losing innocence, of becoming maybe jaded, or just an angry, hateful person. Anything that is much lower vibration than the innocence, like the innocence of being open to love and the beauty and wonder in life. Like, don't want to lose that. So there's a defense mechanism here to protect against it. Knowing that, sort of like knowing that their hands are tied. They're sort of at the whim of the universe at this point. Whatever is going on for the feminine, they're sort of with the whim of the universe. Whatever's going to be is going to be this day. And I don't know what could be coming, but I do know that there's enough that's come that I need to protect the innocence. That's what that feels like with the feminine. Because then she comes out with the Queen of Wands. Really like in her power. Like the feminine is really, really in their power here. Feeling really good. Maintaining that innocence. That's what this feels. It just feels like maintaining that innocence through a journey of maturity. Like not allowing that to get lost. That's pretty cool. Because you can see some, like, people get really, as they get older sometimes. Wow. You know, everybody deals with hardship and difficulty in different ways. But this is protecting innocence to allow it to blossom into like a really strong, mature, confident, dynamic, creative, sexy energy too. And then the Three of Wands. Wow, that's like anything on there. This is like mostly just in her little bikini. But the Three of Wands are waiting for that ship to come in. So, you see the shift? The feminine goes from some sort of a shift here. We're being defensive. There ain't no ship coming in here. I don't know if I can trust any of these ships. I'm going through some sort of a storm, the feminine. The feminine is going through some sort of a storm or has been through some sort of a storm. And they need to protect the ship. If they're the ship, they need to, or the shore. Let's say the shore. They need to protect the shore from anything else coming towards it that may steal the innocence or that may destroy even the beauty that the feminine sees within themselves. Like inside, the internal beauty, not to let that be destroyed. And then once they've gone through the process and come out really, really strong, really mature, dynamic energy, they're ready to take anything into the shore. Anything, like they know, I can handle what comes into the shore now. Because the Three of Wands is expecting their ships to come in. I mean, it could be about distance too, but in this, I'm really feeling is a story about understanding the masculine and the feminine here. So, after this process, the feminine can now go into a receptive mode as opposed to a defensive mode. Do you like my kung fu? Okay, so the masculine Odin. I do want to say too, I think this guy tans really well. Whoever this is, I think this guy puts on a really nice bronze tan. Or he has really bronzy skin naturally. It's kind of funny how that was coming out, because this is too, like, she's pretty fair. So I do feel like there is something very different about these two people. Very different. But it's a difference that comes together in a really wonderful way here. Just to recap, they had the masculine has Temperance, the Moon, the Five of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. The masculine is mastering patience. The masculine is mastering a period of time of lack. Lack of information, lack of the feeling of stability and connection. And along this path, the masculine, in this loss of information, loss of stability and connection, sort of experiencing fears. This is a time to bring out fears, to bring out insecurities. Because if this is how this masculine is presented most of the time, but this is what is inside, well, why is that not being shown readily? So there might be some sort of like programming, societal obligations and pressures that have suppressed something within the masculine. So the masculine is going to be going through a period of time, what I've already talked about, like this lack of information. It's a time to learn about balance, internal balance, and the balancing what's in them. And as it feels like it starts to free this, starts to really free what they're feeling inside and who they are. There's something creative and kind of fun and silly about the masculine that's not really having an opportunity to come out. Or hasn't had an opportunity to come out. The masculine definitely goes through a period of like self-medication. I'm just saying self-medication. The masculine may go through a period of time where maybe they are drinking more, like alcoholic beverages, maybe smoking. Like there's something here, self-medication, but I feel like there's some sort of transformation, because this person's mind isn't like influenced by any sort of narcotic or anything outside of them. It does feel like there may be yeah, like numbing or trying to self-medicate by doing it with substances that are not them. But then they move past this and they become very, very clear. Their mind becomes very, very clear, and they realize that the self-medication is just that. It's through self. This Temperance card is really, I'm just getting all that information about that transformation for the masculine. I mean, if you know this person or not yet, because this time isn't linear. So however this shows up for you, this could be a relationship from long ago in your past. This could be a relationship you're experiencing right now, or this could be a relationship in the future for you. But it does feel like the masculine goes through, yeah, look at this. They both have like the Nike wings on their helmets. The masculine becomes Temperance. This could be a Sagittarius. Or someone in that, like taming the beast within to allow the human to come out, but also finding a really symbiotic balance there, where sometimes the beast within needs to be explored and needs to be released. It really does. Yeah, there's something within this masculine that's been suppressed. It really needs to come out. And they struggle with it for a time. But they clear themselves up really good. And then they really see things clearly and know what they want. So before I start clarifying, I'm going to go into the Tarot of Sexual Magic and find out what the energy is. Kind of, I guess, sexually for the feminine and then for the masculine as well. A card from the Tarot of Sexual Magic to symbolize the feminine's energy in this reading. A card from the Tarot of Sexual Magic. The Wheel again. There's some boobies. There's some boobies, but you know what? The boobies make the world go round. If there weren't boobies, there'd be no people. So, the Wheel. This is a huge transformation. Huge. Now, I don't want to cover up her boobies. Boobies are boobies. So, you can see at the bottom, she's crying. She's sorrowful. And then in the middle, she's kind of starting to pick herself up. And then at the top, she's totally confident in who she is again. She accepts herself, I feel like, internally and physically. Because she's looking in the mirror, she's looking at who she is. She's coming from a place of feeling maybe not appreciated, feeling put down, maybe even feeling victimized on some level, but then bringing herself up again. And she brings herself up, and then she has a lot of pride in who she is again. If this wasn't in the card, you might say this was kind of a little narcissistic, but I don't think it is. I think this is someone coming from a place of feeling very depleted or not appreciated or looked down upon, not understood. Probably wasn't understood, and that created those other feelings that I've talked about. So, yeah, the feminine is mostly on a journey here of protecting the innocence within, allowing the cycle to move and exercise through them, where they come out as very, very, very strong feminine energy without losing the innocence. And being receptive again. Now, for the masculine, let's see what Tarot of Sexual Magic, I was going to say magical. Tarot of Sexual Magical card for the masculine. There we go, and now you flipped. The Four of Pentacles. What's it doing? What is it doing here? Interesting. I feel, this is funny, it almost feels as if the masculine hasn't been allowed to touch. With the Four of Pentacles for a period of time. This masculine energy, too, like we do have the Five of Pentacles. The masculine energy in this reading may have even been in a connection where they weren't allowed to touch. Because it feels like they just want to touch and explore. Like not being allowed to do that. Or with this feminine, like she's asleep and she's not aware. It's like, this is the only way I can get a little peek. This masculine energy may have come from a relationship where touch, intimacy was very limited or none at all. The bottom is the Page of Wands. Ooh, I like this transformation. Wow, I really like this transformation. Of both energies are depicted here in the bottom. The masculine is more than able to touch, to look. The feminine is not asleep. The feminine is almost enjoying it. There's really a beautiful give and take here from where one energy, the feminine not having been in a place of appreciation and allowing themselves to appreciate themselves and know I have something to be appreciated. This is who I am. I'm good. I'm good with me now. And the masculine coming from a point where they weren't allowed to appreciate almost. Really kind of toxic energy for both yin and yangs here. The feminine was not appreciated and the masculine was not allowed to appreciate. So that, I feel like these two energies come together to do that. Let's start clarifying. This is so interesting, Libra. My bottom too. My bottom front teeth are really sensitive right now. I had a permanent retainer on the bottom front teeth there. So they had to remove it, putting the new braces on because they want things to move freely. I don't know what the hell they used. It felt like dry ice. If you have any sort of tooth sensitivity to cold, even the minor, you know, like it's a very significant type of pain. So yeah, I don't know if they froze off the old glue to get that off. So it's gone, but now the teeth feel really sensitive there, like a lot. I don't know, I just had to talk about it. I'm just going through that. Sorry to share. I have to share, Libra. I've been so like sucked in here too. Sometimes I just do need to pull back a little bit. So that's what I did. You know, I'm going to ask, well, let's ask, I feel like the Seven of Wands is related to whatever this downtrodden feeling. The Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands for the feminine. The Emperor, the Three of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles. Oh, wow. Okay, I feel like the feminine... It's kind of interesting because the Odin looks like the Emperor, no? The feminine is not sure. Again, can this be trusted? I do feel like the Emperor in any sort of a love reading is someone who is like strongly committed to this, very supportive energy. You know, it's not just a king, it's the Emperor. So they make their choices and decisions based on the greater good for everyone, not just for the betterment of the king. So this is like a really strong person, a very strong personality, wanting to find that. But with the Page of Pentacles, really not knowing where to begin, or feeling like needing to start from the beginning. So part of this defensive mechanism of the feminine is not wanting to allow anything to come in that isn't like this strong connection, this strong personality, this strong counterpart for them. But what's really funny is, I mean, it's here. I mean, they look like the same person, just one's got more clothes on than the other. They both have a gold crown. They both have a long white beard. The Queen of Wands. Let's see what this almost feels like, a rebirth with the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands for the feminine. The Wheel, yeah. So the Wheel, the Devil, and the King of Swords. Remember, there's definitely, these two counterparts are communicating with each other in this reading. Their energies are here. The Wheel. The Wheel is the card that came before the Queen of Wands. The Wheel, the Devil, and the King of Swords. There is this like feeling kind of trapped in this cycle. What is this cycle? Like this cycle feels like they feel trapped. What is this cycle? The Nine of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. Yeah, this is all about the right counterpart. This is like finding your own happiness, like really being responsible for your own happiness. I think this person becomes very self-aware. The feminine becomes very self-aware that for a true counterpart, they must find their own true happiness here. They must be the only one really truly responsible for their happiness. Bringing up their vibrational energy. But that's not something, it's not really something that you can just say, I'm going to do today. It's something that you have to work through. Because the goal here is for something that is very equal give and take. Very stable, very grounded, very nurturing, very prosperous. And the Three of Wands. And then this becomes receptive energy. The Three of Wands. The Three of Wands. Ooh, look at how that moves. The Three of Wands. Going from the Five of Cups to the Eight of Wands. So, you know, all the stuff that sits in between these 2 points in time. Which is a lot of this reading and everything else that we don't know about a person. So, going from a point of feeling disappointed about how things have worked out, like emotionally disappointed, feeling very heavy emotionally about things not working out, and then coming through with movement and clarity and sort of like freedom of space and expression. All right, the masculine. I'm really curious about this card. I cannot help but feel like not being allowed to touch. Don't touch. To touch. Please. The Four of Pentacles. The imagery in this card for the masculine. Yeah, they want to go on a new journey here. This masculine energy, I mean, it is coming out as older than the feminine, so I do feel like that they've probably even at least been in a relationship in the past and they want to move forward because I feel like they are not allowed to touch. That's not a very good romantic connection or true love story. I mean, you might as well be brother and sister or roommates. That's kind of what that feels like more of a roommate energy. Wanting to take a leap of faith. Wanting to move forward from an energy of feeling very stagnant and not being able to do what they want to do. That's interesting too. Now I'm getting with the Emperor and Odin and the Hierophant. This could be a situation where, I mean, you could work together and there's a no touch. You can't touch. You can't pursue this. Now I see that with the Emperor and the King and Queen of Pentacles too. That's very possible. Because this person is responsible for guiding others. It's got guidance right there. This is like the father, the grandfather type figure. Odin. What is Odin guiding here? Ooh. Wow. Odin is guiding the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. So Odin is guiding energy or people around them, helping them harness, helping them turn their ideas into actions, helping them turn their impulsiveness into a more creative direction, like giving it a more creative direction. Guiding others to pull, really, it feels like pull back that impulsive instinct and kind of wrap it into a more creative expression of self. So the Temperance card, this is where I feel like there's some sort of healing that goes on. There's a healing that feels like it's not quite healthy and then it becomes healthy. The Death card, the Knight of Pentacles, the Hermit, the Five of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. So I do feel like there's an unhealthy point of trying to heal, and then that becomes healthy again with the Death card. And when it becomes healthy again, we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Hermit. So like moving very slowly and self-reflecting, like really looking at self finally. Looking at self, looking within self, realizing that feelings and emotions, it's not healing to try to stifle them or to suppress them or cloud them with some form of, I want to say, narcotic or anything. I mean, the narcotic could also be food. Could be food. Yeah, something to self-nurture. Whereas looking within self and meeting any of those demons that exist in a healthy way that kind of helps you burn through. I'm hearing burn through with the Five of Wands. Burn through to a new beginning. Having to burn through some stuff. But it feels like it does trigger them with the Moon card and the Five of Pentacles. The Moon card and the Five of Pentacles. Oh, it's so many, such a lot of stuff to burn through here. Wow, the Moon card and the Five of Pentacles. You have the Hanged Man, the Page of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the Seven of Swords, and the Four of Swords. Yeah, there's definitely stuff here. Fears that are faced. Things that are looked at differently and understood differently. Feeling, feelings of feeling kind of bad for yourself. Feeling bad for themselves. I feel bad for myself. I'm not happy with how things are going. Like starting to see stuff and feeling a little bit like pushing, not even wanting to heal. Like I really feel like coming to points of healing, and this is really hard. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. And then realizing that it's the only way forward. Taking that up again, taking that sword up again to find your truth, to find your clarity, to live it. And with the Seven of Swords into the Four of Swords, that's it. I'm finished. I'm done. I'm completed with stuff that is not serving me. I'm going to just heal. Like I'm eliminating those things that are not serving me, and I'm going to heal. It's a journey. This is a real, it feels like a real up and down for the masculine in their healing here. And then they come out as the King of Swords. Really clear. There's that clarity. Their mind is clear. They're not foggy about anything. There's nothing interfering with their thoughts and their understanding of their situation and how they fit into it. The King of Swords. The King of Swords. We're running out of cards here. Yeah. Look at that. The masculine comes out very strong at the end. The Ten of Cups and the Strength card. They know, they now see clearly, and they now know. The masculine is saying, I know where happiness is. I know what happiness looks like for me, and I have the strength to pursue that now. The bottom is the Nine of Swords. Not everybody is quite there yet. Not everybody is quite there yet. There's not many cards left in this little deck to clarify, but let me see if there's anything else. This was so different from Virgo. This was really feeling like a way to break down elements of a story to make things more understood, better understood here. I do like this card because I feel like it's two factors coming together. One not feeling appreciated and one not being able to appreciate and enjoy. I mean, masculine energy tends to want to look and feel and touch. So the Page of Wands, let's look at how this feels like a healing. It feels like it heals to injustices in a way, to energy. The Page of Wands, the Page of Wands. The Two of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. It's all about trying to finally see everything clearly and realizing what's worth investing in and what isn't. But the first step in that is investing in yourself. And then you have, there, boom. Then you get your Ace of Wands. All right, Libra, that was a very interesting take on this reading. Thank you so much. I'm going to go do the extended. As I said, the link is at the top of the description. Until next time, to be gentle with yourselves. Bye.